This video is for section 5.5 standard form. Our objective is that we can be able to graph linear equations using intercepts as well as write linear equations in standard form. So let us begin by defining what standard form means. It is one form of a linear equation that allows us to find intercepts easily, x and y intercepts. Our form is the following: ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are real numbers, and a and b cannot be equal to 0 at the same time. So make sure you have written all of this down on your note sheet. Ax plus by equals c. We're going to be finding the x and the y intercepts. In example 1, we are finding the intercepts of the equation 3x plus 4y equals 24. First step is to find the x-intercept, and the way that we're going to do that is substitute 0 for y and solve for x. So we're going to take the equation 3x plus 4y equals 24, and we're going to substitute 0 for the y. So we have 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 24. Remember, when we multiply by 0, that's just canceling out that number. So this goes away. So we have 3x equals 24. It's a nice little one step, so all we have to do is divide by 3, and we get x equals 8. So the x-intercept is 8. And in coordinate form, it is 8, 0, because remember, we substituted 0 for the y value. Now, in step 2, we're going to find the y-intercept. And the way that we're going to do that is substitute 0 for the x and solve for y. Okay, here we go. We have the equation written again. Take the 0 and substitute it in for the x this time. And remember, when we multiply by 0, that takes it away. So we have 4y equals 24, one-step equation, divide both sides by 4, y equals 6. So the y-intercept in coordinate form is 0, 6. Feel free to pause here if you need to catch up. Example 2, we are going to learn how to graph an equation in standard form. As you can see, it's an ax plus by equals c form. And we're going to graph this by finding the x and y intercepts. So let's do that now. Let's take the equation x minus 2y equals negative 2 and plug in the 0 for the y. So we have x minus 2 times 0 equals negative 2. Remember, the 0 just cancels that out, so we're left with x equals negative 2. And in coordinate form, that is negative 2, 0. Now, similarly, we're going to take the same equation and substitute the 0 in for the x this time. The 0 is gone, and you're left with a negative 2y equal to negative 2. One step divided by negative 2, and that is equal to y equal to 1. So the coordinate point is 0, 1. So the first step was to find the x and the y intercepts, and now we're going to plot those 2 points and draw a line through the points. Let's plot the x-intercept first. Negative 2, 0 is right here, and the y-intercept 0, 1 is right here. We're going to connect them with a line and draw arrows to show that it's connecting and going on forever. Feel free to pause here if you need to. This method would not be the best if one of the intercepts was not an integer. So as you can see, negative 2 and positive 1 are integers, so it worked out really nice. I would recommend using another method if the intercepts were not integers. Okay, let's talk about specifically horizontal lines and vertical lines. And I have a really nice acronym for you to learn. I highly recommend you learn this. It's called HOI-VUX. H stands for horizontal line. O is technically a 0, and a horizontal line always has a 0 slope. And a horizontal line has its equation always starting with y equals. And that empty space right there is some number that we don't know, just some random number. Okay? Now, a vertical line has an undefined slope, and the equation always starts with an x, and then it's equal to some number. Take a look at the examples below. On the left side, we have y equals negative 1. So it's starting with y, so that means it's a horizontal line at the negative 1. And as you can see, it is just so. Now, for x equals negative 1, It starts with an X, so that means it's a vertical line up and down, and it is on the -1 x-intercept. Now we're going to learn how to do some on our own. What is the graph of each equation? On the left side we have x equals 3. Well, since it starts with an X, that means we're using the VUX part of the acronym. It is x equals 3, and it's a vertical line. So what you want to do now is find 3 on the vertical, or actually the x-axis, and we're going to draw a vertical line through that point. Now, for y equals 3, we're using the HOI part of the acronym. So y equals 3, that means we have a horizontal line. And find the 3 on the y-axis and draw a horizontal line through that point. Make sure you use arrows to show that the line's going on forever. Given an equation in slope-intercept form or point-slope form, the two forms that we've learned so far, you can rewrite the equation in standard form using only integers. Remember, integers are -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, etc., going on forever in both directions. So now we're going to rewrite this equation using only integers. As you can see, there's a -3/7 there, and we need to get rid of it. So we need to clear this fraction. And the way that we're going to do that is multiply each side of the equation by the denominator of the fraction. Take a look, denominator 7. That means we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 7. Remember, we have to do the exact same thing to both sides. Now we have 7y on the left side, and we definitely need to distribute that 7 to both terms inside the parentheses. And when you distribute the 7 to the fraction, the 7's cancel out, so you're left with a -3x, and 7 times 5 is 35. Awesome, the fraction's gone. Now we need to get it into the form ax plus by equals c, that is standard form. And all we need to do is add the 3x to the other side. 3x plus 7y equals 35. And that is the answer. As you can see, all the numbers in front of the variables are integers. So we completed this task. Okay, an application problem that you've probably been waiting for. This is about iTunes. Suppose that iTunes sells songs for $1 each and movies for $12 each. You can spend $60, and you need to write an equation that describes the items you can purchase. What are 3 combinations of number of songs and movies that you can purchase? So I recommend making a graphic organizer. I've done this in the past. First thing we need to do is define our variables, and then we'll make the graphic organizer. So we have songs and we have movies. So how about let's have our x value be the number of songs purchased. And let's let our y value be the number of movies purchased. Okay, our graphic organizer. The cost of a song times the number of songs that you purchase plus the cost of a movie times the number of movies. And that is going to equal $60 because that's how much you have to spend. So now a cost of a song is $1, so put that right below. Number of songs is X, so bring that down. Plus cost of a movie is $12 and the number of movies is Y equals sign and 60. There's our equation. 1x plus 12y equals 60. Now, after writing an equation, we need to come up with 3 combinations of number of songs and movies that you can purchase. So, fitting with this lesson, how about let's find the x and the y-intercepts. So that means if we find the x-intercept, we are looking for the number of movies purchased when you have purchased 0. Correction, the number of songs purchased if you purchase 0 movies. We're setting y equal to 0. So that means we have 1x plus 12 times 0 equals 60. This cancels out, x is equal to 60. So that means if you purchase 60 songs, you can not get any movies, 0 movies. So there's our first combination. Now let's find our y-intercept. So that means we're going to set x equal to 0. And we have 1 times 0 plus 12y equals 60. Cancel this out. 12y equals 60. And divide by 12 and you get y equals 5. So that means if we purchase 0 songs, you can get 5 movies. So we have 2 combinations. We're just missing the last one. I recommend trying just different types of numbers to plug in for the x and the y. Let's try 3 for the y. I know this one works. So it's kind of like a trial and error for the last one. You just want to make sure you get whole numbers for your answers, integers. So let's see. We have 1x plus 12 times 3 equals 60. I'm setting y equal to 3, so that means we're buying 3 movies. Now we're just trying to figure out how many songs can you buy at the same time. So this is 1x plus 36 equals 60. Subtract 36 to the other side, x equals 24. So that means we can buy 24, sorry, the writing's really struggling, 24 songs and 3 movies. So you can see this is a real-life application problem. I hope you enjoyed it, and the next part is just the lesson check. Feel free to try the lesson check, 5.5. You can wait until we do it together during class, similar problems, or you can at least do the 5.4 lesson check. That is a must. And feel free to study this concept summary right here. You can see that we have slope-intercept form, point-slope form, and standard form all in the same little group. So that's helpful to organize all that. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you tomorrow.